Hello guys, in this video I will be painting step by step this pretty Christmas card with lantern and candle inside and some pine greenery with berries. It will be a real-time tutorial so you can paint with me step by step from sketching to actual painting. If you are a beginner and would like to use a ruler, go ahead and do so. I just like freehand sketching. And comment below the video if you guys prefer shorter video or more like a real time. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more. I will mention all the supplies I use in this video and enjoy. Happy painting! I'm painting on 5x7 100% cotton Fabriana paper. Starting with simple lines and shapes. I think I'm gonna make it a little longer. Yeah. I have a candle here. So it's a handle. I'm trying to fix the top part here and some perspective. So I'm gonna have pine going this way, going across, and I wanna just put some berries. So and have another branch with berries going this direction. So I have variations of sizes, and I'm not gonna draw all of them, just trying to place them so they come in clusters of like 2, 3, and yeah, that should be enough. Some greenery here, more pines going down, and here I'm gonna have more like oval shape, which I'm not gonna draw with my pencil a lot, so I'll change the position a little bit this way. Okay, and that's it for a sketch for now. Just want to erase some extra lines. Probably go like line going across, and that should be going this direction. I'm gonna have shadow right under. It's gonna be my darkest. And that's it. And here I'm using 100% cotton paper. I'm using Fabriana bright white and my number 8 black velvet brush. I'm gonna start painting with my cadmium yellow, and I'm gonna start with the light in the lantern. So I'm just gonna wet this area. Drop this pretty yellow. I'm using paper towel to tap some extra paint. So I'm gonna use variations of yellow and a little bit of orange. Sorry, that's too much. I'm just tapping on my paper towel. Okay, I'm waiting for this area to dry, and I'm gonna start painting the greenery. So I'm using my Prussian blue, probably mix it here, Prussian blue, this is my cadmium yellow, that's for the, this is the bright yellowish green. I'm gonna make another puddle with more darker green. So I'm gonna use my burnt sienna. And here I'm having kind of bluish darker green. So I'm gonna have variations. And I'm just gonna use clean burnt, here's burnt sienna, mixing with some burnt amber. So I'm gonna start with brown, avoiding berries. So I'm just painting branches. So I don't want to go too much around the berries. I'll just do the pines for now. Okay. I will add more around the berries later. I want to concentrate on the pines. So I'm taking my yellow and just painting the greenery, the pines. Dun, dun, dun. It's pretty. And it's nice when you add variations of green. So keep adding some yellow, some blue into your green, make it more fun and interesting and natural looking. And I also would like to show you my favorite greens from Daniel Smith, which is perylene green. It's more on the darker side of the green with some blue shade, and I like the sap green. And they look pretty nice, pretty natural. And actually my favorite is perylene green, but you still can play with sap green, mix it with, add some burnt sienna, burnt amber, but these are pretty colors. Okay, I'm gonna use that perylene green and I'll show you how it looks right from the tube. It has beautiful natural looking color. And my brush is not very wet, so I like to keep it a little dry, especially when painting the second layer. So this one already dry almost. So I'm just adding darker green. Dun, dun, dun. If you feel you want to add more brown later, do it. I think I'm gonna probably do it. So I'm gonna add some yellow into my green. So let's paint this side. So don't try to make perfect same kind of lines for your pines, because they're not perfect even in real life. So don't stress too much. Okay, here I'm gonna have my pine too. Okay, and in some areas I just want to wet my paper and do more like a loose, like smudge a little bit around my lantern. Yeah, like this. And I want my green to bleed a little bit, have that loose effect. And some here too. Okay, for these leaves, I want them to be more rounded. And I will add some Prussian blue into my green. And I like leaving white highlights. It always makes your painting more natural and more interesting. Yeah, and probably a little bit on that side, the rounded shapes. And I'm adding my perylene green on that side too. You see how the pines pop now when you mix it with brighter, darker color. So if you want to go back, just go ahead, keep adding your volumes. Make it interesting. Drier brush, more wet brush. So I have dry here, I have wet here, and I will go ahead and add more details with my dry brush when it's dry. And yeah. Okay, this is not 100% dry. I will start with my berries. For my berries, I will use my crimson, and my ochre rose. So I'm mixing these two together and it makes beautiful red tone. So I'm just gonna go around, make some circles, and I like to leave white areas for the highlights. So here, if you guys miss the highlights, the white area, you can always go back with your gel pen or with white gouache, add it later. So I'm just doing the clusters of 2, 3, smaller, a little larger, just randomly paint them. Oops, yeah, I want that highlight here. So you can use darker red, add a little bit of blue into that, make the bottom part, the one in a shadow, darker. So for now, just using my mixture, what I just made, and we'll see if I'm gonna add, yeah, I'll probably add a little bit of darker to make it more natural and interesting. So I'm mixing in some red, cadmium red, light, and okay, so looking pretty now. Don't stress too much, have fun. It's still gonna come out beautiful and we'll make a beautiful card. People love hand-painted cards. So I'm a little bit smaller here. Yeah, I think I'm good with my berries. I'll add a little bit of ultramarine, make it purplish, more like a burgundy. And I can drop some indigo and make it really dark burgundy, and just drop a couple of, that's too much I think. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so this is still wet. I will go back with my greens on top when it's dry completely. So I'll just start painting the lantern. For the lantern, I'm going to use burnt sienna and burnt amber. Actually, this is my burnt sienna. Let me do, I'm gonna do a first wash. So I have a little bit of my burnt sienna on my brush, which is okay. So I like to leave some white areas. So you can wet it before painting, or I already had some paint on my brush, and that's why I have some color. But I will be adding more pigment into that. So let's just wait. Let's just wet the areas here. That's your lantern. So I'm using my burnt sienna, burnt amber, and I'm just adding at the edges of these rims. And here, going with edges first, not touching the centers, and just painting the darkest parts. And I'll do my shadow, which is right below kind of the roof of the lantern, right? So under that, I'm going with my darkest. I'm using my damp brush and removing some at the bottom. So I have soft edge. I feel I want to add a little bit of yellow. Yeah, it gives nice gold. Color. So I'm just lightly touching my paper. Okay, I'm gonna add some yellow and a little bit of orange for the candle. So I'm always using paper towel. So I'm starting with the edges of the candle. Have that light in the center. I'm just gonna blend it with my damp brush. And use a little bit reddish orange for the flame. So when it's dry, I will add more details on a candle. So let's add a little bit of burnt sienna in the lantern. It's wet in some areas it's already drier, but it makes it even interesting when some you paint wet on wet, some dry, and the bottom part is in the shadow. So yeah, I'm just using variation of burnt amber and burnt sienna. For my shadow, I feel I need to add a little bit more. So I'm doing it at the outlines. So I'm not painting the straight perfect line. You see it's broken and it's not perfect, but it's interesting. It's more interesting than you would just draw a paint straight line. All right, I think I want to add a little bit of ultramarine into that yellow. It's just glazing, it's just tiny bit. I want it to look more natural. So, and show like it's a glass. You probably wait until these are dry. I'll just carefully go around it. Yeah, now it looks more like it is glass with that blue. Okay, I want the bottom of the candle. I want to darken. Gonna use that greenery. Yeah, use pines on top of it. Okay, and I want to make one side of the candle darker. So I'm gonna use that red leftovers, some burnt sienna, and just do the shadow part. Okay, that's still drying. Gonna use a little bit on top. Okay, let's add more details with burnt amber in these branches. So if you feel you want to use smaller brush, liner, go ahead. I'm using the same brush, but I'll probably use my liner. Yeah, let's try it. So I have my burnt sienna, burnt amber, my browns. So I'll connect these berries to the branch. there. Do some, if you want to do some funky curves, do it. I'm gonna try my Neptune number 4 liner. The other one, I think it's too thin. And at the same time, if I want to add brown in my pines, I do it. It's a good time. Here, branches. Yeah, I feel like I want to fill it up with something. If you feel you want to add more green, go ahead. And I will also, as I said, I wanted to go with my dry brush and paint on top of these washes I did earlier. Yeah, like this funky, loose finish. Tap, 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 and some veins in this branch. Okay, probably feel I want a green on the side. Okay, and if you want to add warmer, oops, I went too much with my green inside my yellow. So clean your brush, take your yellow, mix it with your green, add some lighter green accents. Yeah, I love it. It lights up my painting. Yeah, it's so fun and looking more interesting when you have variations of different greens. Tap here, there. Okay, I like it. And now I will go ahead and add some indigo into my burnt amber, burnt sienna. I have a nice dark, make sure it's a like thicker consistency. And now I will go with some more details in my lantern. So these lines, boom, boom, broken line, you see how it becomes more interesting looking. Gonna zoom in. And then go around and make these lines more to stand out with my darker. I used burnt sienna, burnt amber with a tiny bit of the, what was that? Indigo, yeah. Now I have really dark brown here, and I will use more in my shadow right here. So these are just final details. So the shadow inside, and yeah, I don't want to go a lot around berries. It's already Enough. All right, now I want to add a little bit of darker shadow in my candle on that side. And tiny bit of dark in that flame. Okay, I'm going back to my bigger brush, and I want to fill up some areas. This is too much white here, but it's pretty much like 90% done. Yeah, I will let it dry and add some fun final details. I will add snow splatters with my white gouache, and I want to add a couple of gold accent with my watercolor, with my gold. Now it's all dry, and I have my gouache here right from the tube. And I will add that snow. So I'm gonna use my larger brush, because larger is the brush, the larger snowflakes you're gonna have. Now if you want to add some highlights, if you missed some, you want to add, now it's the time. You can do it on your pines, you can do it all over, you can do it on the lantern, and on a flame, candle, just, yeah, it adds magic with those like tiny white lines, highlights, make everything pop. But it's up to you guys. If you want to keep it more like a real watercolor, you just keep it, don't add anything. Okay, now I'm gonna add some of that gold. I want to add some snowflakes. I'm using my liner brush, gold watercolor. Okay, just gonna do some snowflakes on a candle. Why not? So you go from top to bottom, across, then diagonal. From top to bottom, across, and another diagonal. That's it. And maybe here, maybe another one right here. And let's add a little bit gold on the lantern so it looks like metal. Looks very pretty. Just tiny bit of magic metallic. That's it. It looks very pretty, shiny. And I think I want to add some splatters with gold. I can use my, especially here where I have nothing. And oh yeah, so pretty. And if you guys want to add some on your pines, why not? Add some magic. Pretty, I love it. Isn't it cute? So cute. That's it. Here's your Christmas card. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're gonna try to paint it, and it's easy and fun. Comment below and I will link the supplies I was using, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for joining. Subscribe for more. And let's remove that tape. And what a pretty card we have here. So fast, easy, and so pretty. I hope you guys gonna try it. Have fun painting.